Hello students, let us take up a problem on the estimation of door. Before we move on to the calculation part, let us understand the various parts of door. Doors can be made of timber or steel or aluminum or concrete. We are dealing with the wooden door here, and our task is to determine the total quantity of wood required to make the door. Teakwood, jackwood, Matti wood or Nandi wood are few wood varieties used to make the doors. Door basically has two components, the frame and the shutter. Doors are provided in all buildings to access the rooms or utilities. In the house we have main door, bedroom doors, kitchen door, etc. A door frame is an assembly of horizontal and vertical members to which door shutters are fixed. The vertical members of frame are jamb or post, and the horizontal top member connecting the post is called the head, which has horns at both the sides. The cross-sectional dimensions of head and post are kept the same. A rivet is cut in the frame all round to receive the shutter. The size of the rivet is equal to 12 mm normally. The door shutter consists of framework of vertical members called stiles and horizontal members called rails, which are grooved along the inner edges of the shutter frame to receive the panels. A door shutter can have one panel or two panels or three panels and so on. In the figure, the shutter has three panels. The stiles and rails and the frames are joined by mortise and tenon joints. The vertical subdivision of panels is done by mullions. Rails are jointed to stiles. The bottom and lock rails are made wider than top and frieze rails. Note that the sizes of the frame, that is head and post, is equal to 125 into 75 mm. Width of top rail is equal to 100 mm, width of stile is equal to 100 mm, width of frieze rail is equal to 80 mm, and width of lock rail and bottom rail is equal to 150 mm. Outer to outer width of door frame is equal to 825 mm, and height of the frame above the floor is equal to 1.95 meter. And you can notice that there is insertion of door frame in the floor for a dimension of 30 mm. Now let us go to the solution part. Initially draw the estimate table and fill up the column headings such as item number, particulars of item, number, length, breadth, depth, quantity and remarks. Minor calculations can be shown in remarks column. Item 1, frame post. There are two posts or the vertical members in a frame. The height or the length of the post is equal to clear height plus floor insertion, that is equal to 1.95 plus 0.03 is equal to 1.98 meter, and its cross-sectional size is equal to 125 mm into 75 mm. Therefore, the quantity is the product of number, length, breadth and depth, works out to 0.0371 meter cube. Next, the head. Here there are no horns as given in the sketch. Therefore, length of head is equal to outer length of frame, that is equal to 0.825 meters. Cross section dimensions is equal to 0.125 meter into 0.075 meters, and quantity is equal to 0.0077 meter cube. Accuracy up to 4 decimal places is considered because the wood is highly expensive. The thickness of stiles and rails are assumed as 40 mm, and the rivet provision for shutter in the door frame is equal to 12 mm. Next, take up top rail. Length of top rail is equal to outer length of rail minus 2 times frame thickness, that is 75 mm, plus 2 times rivet depth, that is 12 mm. Width of top rail is equal to 0.1 meter and thickness of rail is equal to 40 mm. And its quantity is equal to 0.0028 meter cube. Moving on further, length of freeze rail or the lock rail and the bottom rail are same as 0.7 meter. Given that width of freeze rail as 80 mm, width of lock rail is equal to 150 mm and width of bottom rail is equal to 150 mm. Thickness of all rails and stiles is equal to 40 mm or 0.04 meter. The quantities are respectively calculated. Next, consider the panel. There are 3 panels. Panels are grooved into the rails and stile at all sides by an amount of 12 mm. Length of panel is equal to outer length of door, that is 0.825 meter, minus 2 times thickness of frame, that is 75 mm, minus 2 times width of the stile, that is 100 mm, plus 2 times groove depth, that is 12 mm, which works out to 0.5 meter. Breadth of each panel is obtained by vertical height for panel divided by 3, which is equal to 0.46 meter. Thickness of panel is equal to 25 mm. Total of all woodworks is equal to 0.0905 meter cube. To this total add 5% for wastages in sawing and cutting, and the grand total becomes 0.095 meter cube. This is the end of estimation of door. Namaskar.